It's being opened back up for business starting tonight. However, I don't see the usual raucous crowds. Rumors have probably gone around about the 2 prostitutes who were murdered. I stop under a street lamp and light up a cigarette. Well then. It looks like the Ueno murders have been solved for now, but the conclusion was something I would have never imagined even in my wildest dreams. However, there are still several questions left unanswered. Fukamizu's true motives, why she left Ota's body in that state, and... I sink into deep thought, my mind churning away as I stare at the falling snow.
You look better than I expected, Shugo.
Suddenly, someone addresses me from behind. Arishima-san. For the time being, I show Arishima-san into my room and have Hatsune bring us some tea.
Pardon me.
Hatsune leaves after placing teacups in front of us. I saw Arishima-san once while I was hospitalized, but we weren't really able to talk then. He listens carefully while I give him a detailed rundown of my injuries.
You know, you really played quite a big part in this case.
I did nothing of the sort. His eyes crinkle in amusement after hearing me say that.
You really are a man without any sort of ambition. You refused thank you cards and having your name printed in the paper. If you'd played your cards right, you would have been hailed as a hero and gone down in history as a legendary detective. But knowing you, I suppose your behavior should come as no surprise.
Well, that's because... I had the fact that Toji and I were involved in this hidden from the press. Toji was vehemently against having her name appear on the headlines. I'm not surprised, considering her profession. Of course, I also didn't want anything to do with the hordes of unscrupulous reporters swarming around for scraps. I'm just not that type of person, and besides, there's no way I could accept thank you cards when something that ghastly happened. It was truly a depressing event. Reen's body, along with the corpses of 2 other girls, were discovered inside that basement. The 2 girls had been treated as missing persons up until that point. Until their bodies were discovered, the authorities were unable to put a solid count on the number of people Fukamizu had murdered. The girls' lives were stolen from them unfairly, without any forewarning. If I could, I'd like to forget this all happened. Arishima-san narrows his eyes and scrutinizes me.
Are you saying you no longer wish to be involved in the case?
No, I didn't say that.
I thought so. At the very least, you want to know the full story about this case, right? We found out a whole boatload of things from her interrogation.
Is this really okay with you, Arishima-san? I mean, telling me about it?
Come now. There's no need to let formality get in the way. You busted your ass working this case. Don't you want to hear about what we found?
Fukamizu's testimony. I'd be straight up lying if I said no. Sure, if you please. Arishima-san then begins relaying to me the information they gleaned from interrogating the mass murderer, Fukamizu Kaoru. Fukamizu Kaoru was unable to have children.
We discovered the medical records from when she was hospitalized 10 years ago. Apparently, when she had a tumor from her abdomen removed, a part of her uterus was taken out as well.
She wanted to get married and dreamed of someday making a happy family with her husband, but that's when crisis struck. To her, realizing her own mental image of happiness was more important than actually being in love and having a child.
Prior to the surgery, she'd always had a powerful imagination, but afterward, it got more intense.
The illusion of happiness she built up inside of her shell. In order to protect that dream, she was faced with the task of finding a new image for herself. She might have been within the realm of salvation if she'd only been able to reach out to someone for help. However, her parents were apathetic to her plight, and her friends spurned her and called her creepy. Loneliness, despair, and alienation, the shell she built around herself kept growing harder, and her mind steadily grew more warped. She wanted to live in a world where she had a loving family, where nobody could hurt her and everybody accepted her. That was the happiness she sought.
And then Fukamizu encountered Christianity. Of course, she had no real interest in Christian doctrines. She was captivated by the tale of Jesus' conception, the virgin birth.
It was a holy miracle in which Mary became pregnant without having coupled with a man. Before long, she gave birth to the Son of God. She had received a sign from heaven. She believed that in order to give birth to a child while lacking a uterus, she would require a miracle from God.
It was a completely illogical delusion that totally ignored the laws of reality, but to her, it was all too real.
She joined the Christian church and became a fervent soldier of the faith, and everyone around her showered her with praise. However, her mind gradually became twisted from 10 years of praying for something that would never happen.
Apparently, signs of her madness started popping up after she joined the faculty at Kaiō Academy.
The girls at the academy possessed the possibility of obtaining the happiness so unfairly stolen from her. Was it jealousy? Perhaps envy? Regardless, the way she looked at her students was definitely not normal.
It eventually led to her getting blood on her hands.
Her first victim was a student who wasn't feeling well, Isaka Shizuko. Under the pretense of taking her home in the carriage, she instead imprisoned the girl in the cellar.
And that's how it all began. She probably changed her targets to streetwalkers so that the students at Kaiō Academy wouldn't get suspicious.
Arishima-san proceeds to give me a detailed rundown of Fukamizu Kaoru's testimony.
She believed that by consuming the uteri of her victims, her own uterus would be reborn, and she would be blessed with the child of God. That was the miracle
I can't believe she killed all those people over something so ridiculous.
I can't wrap my head around it either. Anyway, there's no way to verify now whether she was just full of shit or not.
Arishima-san shrugs. No way to verify? I'm getting a bad feeling about this.
Yeah. Last night, Fukamizu bit off her own tongue inside her holding cell.
That's ridiculous! What the hell were her guards doing? Arishima-san's face clouds over with displeasure at my question.
Keep it down, Shugo. She was very obedient after she was arrested. Hell, she was even very forthcoming during the interrogation. The truth is, we let our guard down. When she was discovered collapsed inside her cell, it was already too late.
I can't believe this. Fukamizu committing suicide? Is that really how this case is going to be closed? With that unsatisfying conclusion? Arishima-san, did Fukamizu admit to all the murders being her own work?
Yeah, she said something to that effect before she died. What about it?
Otaha's murder too? That strange, bizarre corpse in Ueno Park. Something inside me tells me that it isn't Fukamizu's work.
The corpse in Ueno Park? Yeah, she did seem to admit to it, but... Let me be frank with you. She was really deranged when she was talking about that, so there's still a lot of parts of her testimony we don't fully understand.
I see. I guess I have no choice but to choke it down. Even if I want to confirm the truth, the crucial piece of the puzzle, Fukamizu, has already been silenced for all eternity. Are you really satisfied with this, Arishima-san? Closing the case like this?
Well, let's see. We've been steadily uncovering more evidence in that cellar beneath the church. We have a confession from the suspect. I see no reason to doubt what we have.
He shrugs and flashes me a wry smile. I reluctantly nod in agreement.
Oh, by the way, Shugo. How's the Kohzuki case coming along? Have you made any progress?
Arishima-san suddenly changes the subject. I don't really know. Truth be told, I haven't done any work at all on it since Odaha's murder. I plan to pick up the search again starting tomorrow. In reality, though, I have no idea how long it will take.
I see. Well, I have no intention of prying into your business, but since I referred you to Kohzuki, I was just a bit curious.
Yeah, I understand completely. Right at that moment, a thought pops into my head. The incident from 10 years ago. Arishima-san might know something about Yura's accident, which Keiichiro refused to speak to me about. However...
Well, Kohzuki didn't really tell me any of the details.
Arishima-san promptly denies having any knowledge. I see. I do find it rather hard to believe that Kohzuki Keiichiro would just mouth off to someone about a personal crisis that could potentially upset his social standing.
Why do you want to know, Shugo?
I was just a bit curious. I evade his question by making an ambiguous remark. No matter how busy he may be, it's rather uncharacteristic of Arishima-san to not actually have all the details of a request on hand. Though there's no way I can actually bring myself to say that to his face. After a short while, Arishima-san tells me he has some work left to do and departs for the Ueno police station. Now alone in my room, I let my frazzled mind wander. When suddenly...
Well, that's surprising. That pathetic woman went and killed herself, eh?
The closet door rattles open. What?
Hey, Shugo. Well done. I'm overjoyed that you came back to me alive.
It's Nana.
You know, I was waiting inside this closet to surprise you, but then you came in with Inspector Arishima, and I was pretty much stuck until he left.
She just babbles on and on after she opens her mouth. I know Nana's accustomed to doing some weird things, but there are limits, damn it! When the hell did eavesdropping become one of your hobbies, huh?
Don't be rude, Shugo. I just happened to be hiding in a room where I could hear you two having your conversation. That's not the definition of eavesdropping, right?
But the point remains, she heard every single word of our conversation.
What's shameful is that you guys didn't even consider the possibility that other people might have been listening in, and started up your talk of confidential matters. How's that feel, eh?
The possibility that there would be someone hiding inside my closet, eavesdropping. Oh, please, that's not even worth thinking about.
Besides, there's something else.
Nana doesn't seem the least bit concerned about my displeasure. She just keeps running her mouth off like she usually does.
The killer's loneliness, her cravings, the darkness in her heart. Even though cold blood ran through her veins, she still suffered inside. A commonplace, but relatively moving story indeed. But was her cannibalism really motivated by the belief that it would heal her? Somehow that just doesn't sit right with me.
Nana continues murmuring to herself. I don't really like how it sounds either, but I can't just let her sit here and keep insinuating things. Nana, what's bothering you?
Well, I just have a feeling that something's off. It's not really grounded in anything, though. The purpose of Fukamizu-kun's cannibalism, it's similar to how old people with weak livers eat cow livers because it'll give them strength, right?
Using a vulgar example to draw a connection, eh? Nana pays no heed to my cold reply and keeps right on talking.
So, in essence, you consume the same body part as the part you wish to strengthen. It sounds a bit contrived to me. I feel like it's too cut and dry for a lunatic to have come up with. Shugo, do you really think Fukamizu-kun, who only lived for the present moment, could go insane in such a logical manner?
How the hell would I know?
What's the matter, Shugo? Have you given up already? You know, that's the reason why you never mature. It also explains why you're getting dumber. Do you see now? A wise person like myself would have immediately come up with a hypothesis, you know.
Don't tell me you... Nana cuts in as I'm about to finish with know something again.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold your horses, Shugo. You've read detective stories before, right? You should be familiar with this turn of phrase then. The time is not yet ripe for us to discuss these matters. Right?
Nana cackles in satisfaction, the laugh coming from deep within her throat. It probably doesn't matter what I say to her at this point. However, there's still something I need to ask her about. Hey Nana, what the hell is this? I show her the key to the cellar.
Whoa, you're looking pretty scary there, Shugo. Did it not help? My bad. Odds are, even I will blunder from time to time.
That's not what I meant! I raise my voice in anger. Every time I talk to her, I end up getting irritated. Where did you get this key? Paying no heed to my frustration, Nana replies without missing a beat.
Oh, come on. Of course I got it from the woman herself. What are you trying to say? Did you think I stole it, Shugo?
The woman herself? That mean Fukamizu Kaoru. Yeah, the unprecedented psychopathic murderer who butchered several young ladies. Her.
Fundamentally speaking, criminals are loners. She was really happy when she realized that I wasn't going to tip anyone off about her. Deep down inside, I'm sure she wanted a friend.
Nana smirks at me. I can't believe you. The words Fukamizu spoke to me while we confronted each other in the cellar surfaced back into my mind.
I'm ever so happy. I've had so many guests today. I've been wanting someone to spend my time with.
So that wasn't a joke at all. She actually meant it. In that case...
I was also interested in her, you know. We had a very pleasant meal together. I was able to eat some interesting things.
Wait, that means you... The thought alone shakes me to the core. So you knew all along, and you let her go?
I don't know. What do you think?
She puts on a simpering smile.
I think you should be thanking me, Shugo. I betrayed my lonely friend and gave you the key to the cellar.
You know, she conducts herself according to her own interest and curiosity, paying no heed to laws or ethics. I really loathe Nana when she does that.
Oh, right. Speaking of friends, there's something else I meant to tell you.
Nana pulls a letter out of her uniform pocket.
One of my buddies at the academy is apparently an old friend of yours. She wants to meet with you, so I trust you'll take care of that. Thanks.
She stuffs the letter into my pocket. Well, Nana...
Oh, take this too. It's a present from me to you, since you're seriously injured.
She tosses a box full of cakes at me.
They're ohagi from Odawara, made with white rice flour. Half-killed, they call them. Make sure you eat up because they're rather tasty. Oh, but I really wasn't trying to make a jab at your condition with the half-killed business. That's just what they're called. Don't be offended, okay?
I'm rendered speechless. Honestly, I've lost the will to even keep talking to her.
Neato. Thanks for taking these things off my hands. Well then, my business here is concluded. I'll drop by again to hang out sometime in the future, Shugo.
Nana exits my room, chuckling. I'm left with a letter and a box of those half-killed ohagi in my hands. Lying prostrate on top of the tatami, I ponder over the facts I've heard from both Nana and Arishima-san. Fukamizu Kaoru confessed and then committed suicide. It appears as though the case is closed on this string of bizarre murders in Ueno. However, something just doesn't add up. I think back to the moment when Rin disappeared. Why on earth did Fukamizu Kaoru summon Rin, of all people? Her testimony didn't touch on Rin at all. Then who the hell called for her? And for what? The apprehension inside me shows no sign of abating. I don't like this one bit. When Arishima-san had smiled and said that the case was closed, was he really telling the truth? Is there yet another side to this sordid affair? I have no idea how long I've spent pondering things over.
Shugo-sama, the bath is open now.
Hatsune's calm voice comes from the opposite side of the screen and jerks me out of my reverie. Oh, thanks, Hatsune. That's right. Well, I've pretty much boiled everything down for now. Let's go take a bath for a change of pace. Hatsune's waiting for me out in the hallway when I slide open the door. Could you call the madam for me?
Certainly. One moment, please.
Her tone sounds cold for some reason. Wait, don't be getting the wrong idea, Hatsune. Just look at my arm. The madam's taking pity on me and offering her kind assistance.
Yes, I'm well aware.
Hatsune flashes me a sparkling grin.
So you prefer a more mature lady, Shugo-sama?
Well, that I can't deny, but... Grieved by Hatsune's cold demeanor, I drag myself over to the bath. It looks like the madam's not here yet. I'm flooded with a sense of relief as I glance around the empty bath. I guess I'll just start out by rinsing myself off. Even though trying to bathe on my own is a difficult affair, I still feel kind of awkward for asking the madam to help me out. I honestly wish we could just drop the fact that I suggested it in the first place. However, at the moment, I hear the curtains at the entrance to the bath being parted.
Rubber ducky, joy of joys. When I squeeze you, you'll make noise.
After getting back to my room, I flop down on top of my futon and sigh. I kind of feel like I'm even more tired now than I was before my bath. I suppose it's inevitable, given what happened in there. I feel a sharp, jabbing pain. It comes from the side of my head, the place where I got whacked by Fukamizu. I'll just curl myself up and silently endure until the pain goes away. It might be due to all of my anxiety melting away since I've returned home. The dull, aching sensation inside my head just doesn't seem to be going away. I suppose I might as well go to bed. At this rate, I can't even organize my thoughts properly. Sighing once again, I wriggle under the futon and close my eyes. Thankfully, sleep steals over me almost immediately.